Good evening, fellow Kiwanians. My name is John Button, and I'm pleased to be with you this evening to share some information about our new worldwide service project, to share the case for support for our new Eliminate project. By way of introduction, I would like to introduce you to Bryn Matthews. Bryn was born on February 25th, 2011, weighing 3.42 kilograms or 7 pounds, 2 ounces. By an accident of geography, Bryn was born healthy, and her neonatal period was uneventful. She was born at St. Joseph's Hospital in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Her mother had been immunized against tetanus. The birthing room and instruments were clean and sterile, as were the delivery techniques. The obstetrician and birth attendants were highly skilled. I am so blessed. Bryn is my granddaughter. She's had her second tetanus immunization. As I wind my practice down and reflect back upon a career spanning more than 3 decades, I am struck by 2 things: my blessings and my disappointments. I have brought hundreds of babies into the world, and am blessed not to have ever had to worry about maternal neonatal tetanus. The birthing rooms and practices were clean and sterile, and the obstetrician wasn't that bad either. Several times over the years, I have been disappointed by new parents denying their newborn babies immunizations, including tetanus. I have seen the pictures and the videos of babies dying from tetanus, and I view this denial to be child abuse. That 61 million women and their unborn babies around the world do not have access to tetanus immunization is child abuse on a global scale. UNICEF has called our victory over IDD the greatest public health achievement of the last century. Millions of children now live lives of hope and promise. We have added billions of points to the world's collective IQ. We did change the course of history, and when we eliminate maternal neonatal tetanus, we will have done it again. Every year, 8.2 million children under the age of 5 die of preventable illness. 41% of these deaths occur within the first 28 days of life. In many areas of the world, maternal neonatal tetanus is the major cause of these infant deaths. And although medicine has made great strides, we have made the least progress in improving maternal neonatal health. There is no more joyful event in the life of a family than the birth of a child. In days, however, maternal neonatal tetanus can turn those tears of joy into tears of anguish and grief. Tetanus is a cruel and swift killer. It kills one newborn baby every 9 minutes, and one family becomes motherless every 20 minutes. Every year, 59,000 newborn babies are tragically and unnecessarily killed by this preventable infection, and 25,000 new mothers suffer the same fate. Tetanus is an infection caused by the bacteria Clostridium tetani, which is found in soil, decaying matter, and animal feces all over the world. It is introduced into the body through wounds that occur during the birthing process. Once in the body, the bacteria rapidly multiplies and produces a toxin, a poison, that specifically attacks the newborn baby's nervous system, making it exquisitely sensitive to all external stimuli: sight, sound, and touch. Any stimulus can cause the baby to have excruciatingly painful and prolonged seizures. Seizures so violent as to tear muscles and break bones. Curative treatment is rarely successful, as it is difficult, expensive, and in developing countries often wholly inadequate, if it is there at all. In this situation, a hypersensitive nervous system, the kindest treatment is the saddest treatment: sensory deprivation. The baby is denied all external stimuli. Its eyes are covered and cannot see the look of concern in a loving mother's eyes. Its ears are plugged and cannot hear the tender murmurings of a loving mother. And most tragically, the baby cannot be touched and cradled in the loving mother's arms. And so, the baby dies, a death that is recognized as one of the most agonizing deaths known to man. This baby, so recently a child of great promise, the embodiment of a family's hope, dies a sad, pitiful, agonizing death. In the dark, with the only thing it hears its own heart-wrenching cries, and the only thing it feels the excruciating pain of its seemingly endless seizures. The baby dies alone, and nobody should die alone. This baby was born in the dirt, it dies in the dirt, and is buried in the dirt. Maternal neonatal tetanus is a women's rights issue. It is a marker of poverty and healthcare inequity. It accounts for up to 50% of all neonatal deaths in the poorest nations on earth. Its victims come from the poorest, most marginalized populations living in underserved and hard-to-reach areas. They live at the end of the road, if there is a road. They do not have access to clean and safe birthing facilities and practices due to poverty, poor hygienic standards, geographical constraints, illiteracy, and cultural practices and benefits. In sub-Saharan Africa, 59% of all births occur at home. That number rises to 62% in Asia. It is a fundamental woman's right to be able to protect her unborn child throughout her pregnancy and to have access to clean and safe birthing facilities and practices. In many cases, this will require the abandonment of traditional practices and beliefs. In areas where tetanus is endemic, often the final act in the birthing process is to treat both stumps of the umbilical cord with cow dung. In the Sudan, neonatal tetanus is called the blackbird disease because it is believed that the infection was caused by a blackbird sitting on the roof of the hut at the time of birth. The great tragedy of death from tetanus is that it need not happen at all. The United Nations calls this ongoing tragedy a silent scandal. We have had the tools to end this scandal for decades. Researchers discovered tetanus vaccine in 1897, and the vaccine became widely available in 1924. With just 3 shots, costing 60 cents apiece, we can offer those in the developing world what we have taken for granted for almost 100 years. Previously immunized or newly immunized pregnant women pass their immunity on to their newborns. This immunity will last for the first 2 months of life, after which time government-mandated, UNICEF-supported immunization programs kick in and take over. If we could rid the world of Clostridium tetani bacteria, we could eradicate this infection, but we cannot eradicate dirt. We can, however, eliminate tetanus. Elimination means less than 1 case of tetanus per 1,000 births in all districts of a country. The key to elimination is immunization and clean and safe birthing practices supported by education. Once again, we have partnered with UNICEF. We have history. This partnership has had an immense impact around the world. A memorandum of understanding defining this partnership has been signed in New York by representatives of Kiwanis International, the Kiwanis International Foundation, and the U.S. Fund for UNICEF. UNICEF does not go into a country unless it is invited. They have the feet on the ground and the organizational skills to carry out this massive immunization program. The Kiwanis family is 600,000 strong, and we bring our fundraising skills, but more importantly, our commitment, our passion, and our enthusiasm to this campaign. Kiwanis is the final push. This is the range of maternal neonatal tetanus in 2001. This is the range of maternal neonatal tetanus in 2008. And I draw your attention to the changes in Africa, Asia Minor, and the Indian subcontinent. This will be the Kiwanis gift to the world. This new partnership is unbeatable. Kiwanians reach people, and UNICEF reaches those people who live at the end of the road, the forgotten. What do we need to do? We need to raise $110 million to immunize mothers and protect their unborn babies. Maternal neonatal tetanus is a silent scandal. This project is about protecting the world's most vulnerable at their most vulnerable time. We cannot get rid of the tetanus bacteria. It is everywhere. But we can stop it from killing newborn babies and their mothers, and we will. While I have been talking, 2 more babies have died of tetanus, and 1 more family has been left without a mother.